What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Daze's Lost Legacy. Been gone for a couple of weeks because I want these videos to be more quality instead of trying to pump out quantity. So I will still try to bring them on weekly, but the topics will be better and they will be more thought out and put forward to you. No more stutterings, and I don't want to sound like my homeboy Barack Obama with the ums. I'm going to try to get rid of those. Yeah, if I have to cut them out, that's what I'll do to bring you more quality content. Now, last week, for this topic of the day, I went back and I played a game that I hadn't beat. And it's a pet peeve of mine when I don't beat games. You know, whether it be because of a rage quit or whether it be because another game came out and just took its spot. I like to get my money's worth, which means usually beating the game, unless the game's just absolutely horrible. And the game that I didn't beat for the longest of time, 10 months to be exact, because it came out in May of 2017, that game was Prey. Prey is a game that not enough people seem to have played, but nor did they really need to, in my opinion. I beat it last week, and this game that came out in May, 10 months, so that shows you how long I decided to step away from the game. I bought it when it came out. I did know about it, so I'm not one of those people that didn't know about it and just picked it up in a bargain bin. I bought it day and date release. I didn't put it down because any of those reasons. I put it down because this game was frustrating. And this seems to be a common theme inside of Bethesda, especially with their last few titles, even including Fallout 4. And it needs to be brought to the forefront of their attention and the rest of the gamers' attention more often. Bethesda games lately have not sold very well, and they haven't spoken to gamers. Because when you speak to gamers, it usually shows up in your sales charts. Prey debuted at number 5 in the month that it came out, which was May 2017. It got beat out by games such as Injustice 2, which came out in April, Mario Kart Deluxe, which was on a system that was only 2 months into release, and debuted at number 5. In a slow month. Last May, we did not have heavy hitters like we did when Uncharted came out and when the year Doom came out. We didn't have those heavy hitters in May. So for it to debut at number 5, with sales that were likely not even 500,000. As a matter of fact, we can confirm that it was not 500,000. That's in the United States. Then this game is a flop to debut at number 5 in a month that didn't have any AAA competition releasing in that same month. That's not a good number. There's many reasons that I believe this game came in at number 5 with its low sales. As stated earlier, I didn't finish this game for 10 months. Didn't even want to touch it, didn't want to look at it. I deleted it off the console. Reason? The difficulty of this game was ridiculous. This is a complaint that I and many other gamers have. You can go to Reddit, you can go to GameFAQs, and look at this. This is especially concerning when even the easy difficulty setting isn't considered easy. What is the point of the difficulty setting to be lowered anytime in the game if easy won't be easy? You could put easy on any other game that has a difficult setting and it will be exactly as it states. It will be easy. A difficulty of this caliber does not invoke replayability. This is not Dark Souls. This is not Wolfenstein. This is a sci-fi game that players just wanted to experience the story. They didn't ask for a rough time. Single player games have to either be fun through gameplay or have an extremely engaging story. Prey had neither. It falls in the shadow of Dishonored that was all fun gameplay no matter the story. Though the story of Dishonored for what it's worth, was decent. Prey had intrigue because of the opening 5 minutes. And that was it after that. Especially compared to what Prey was supposed to be. We all remember the bounty hunter game that was supposed to be set in space and have aliens that you can hunt and aliens that you work with. The hype machine writes itself in that. And that could have been a great multiplayer experience. Not that I wanted that. I'm all for single player games. That is what I like. This game, like many other Bethesda games, was also very buggy. Glitches galore. Getting stuck in places. Game crashing. It still crashes to this very day. 10 months later, I had 3 crashes trying to finish this game. And I sped run it. I didn't do any side missions. I ran through everything, past the enemies. Only had to kill them when I had needed to. Didn't try to sneak past. I wanted to get done with this game as soon as possible. Because that is how frustrating and annoying this game was. Which brings the question, why do gamers continue to allow Bethesda to get away with glitchy, buggy games? We expect quality from any other developer / publisher. Why do we give the people under Bethesda, whether it be Machine Games or Arcane, the people behind Prey, which Arcane, this usually doesn't happen because Dishonored, from what I played, and Dishonored 2 was not buggy. I had no problems with those games. But this game was released to die, in my opinion. I don't think Bethesda ever had faith in it. They've been teasing recently some DLC. Like anyone's really going to go back and play this game after 10 months. Well, by the time the DLC releases, it may have been a year. So no one's going back to play this game because no one cares anymore. And no one cared when it came out. Which leads to the bigger problem in Bethesda as a whole is what have they done for us recently? I've never been on this Bethesda fanboy hype train. I understand they gave you Skyrim. I understand they gave you Fallout 3. But just fast forward to Fallout 4. That came out in the exact same year of The Witcher 3 and was massively disappointing compared to that game. It was uglier than that game, it was glitchier than that game, and the story was trash compared to that game. So please tell me one thing Fallout 4 had over The Witcher 3. And that is why The Witcher 3 won all the Game of the Year awards, where Fallout 4 did not. Doom, that came out in 2016, was a success. Also plagued with bugs, but that was on the multiplayer side. For the single player side, didn't really experience any bugs. But still, Bethesda allowing their developers that are under them to consistently give games and put them out unfinished. Now, I know we can't find every glitch. There's glitches in some of these 10 out of 10 games. Of course there are. But then you just have the ones that are just so unnoticeable or so quick that you don't care. Games like Fallout 4, games like Prey, should not be as disastrously buggy and disastrously ugly as they are. And I'm no graphics whore. I can play a game with mediocre graphics any day as long as you make up for it. And neither of those games made up for it. So therefore, the graphics, ugliness, and the bugs stood out even worse because you had nothing to fall back on. Just last year, Bethesda released 2 games in the same month. Neither of those games were a success. The Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 did not crack the top 10 sales in the month they were released, and they did not climb up the month after. in the month they were released, the number 1 and number 2 games, which also released in the same months, this was a busy month, were Middle-earth: Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed Origins. Both these games deservedly got their top spots. You want to know where Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 are? 13 and 14. Now, that was with no digital sales. But let me remind you that even with digital sales, you can go and you can fact check me. These games underperformed. Both of them. What is Bethesda doing, and why do we keep cutting them slack? Bethesda needs to step it up. They are falling. They are shrinking. I don't think people are excited about Bethesda games anymore. And their last 3 games, Prey, Wolfenstein, Evil Within, all 2017, underperformed. The Bethesda ship is now sinking. And I'm watching from the pier with binoculars as it goes down in the ocean. That was this episode of Daze Lost Legacy. I hope it was more informative than the last episodes. I hope you got something out of it. If you have a rebuttal, please post it in the comments. I always enjoy a good progressive argument, not some bull crap trying to call me out or talk about my mama, little kid stuff. Well, anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, bye-bye.